far since the meeting process began, I think.
Could you speak a little louder?
Hold the mic a little towards you, yeah, has to be really close. Thank you.
I think the meeting is a good process, and I have not found the book that I've wanted that had not been here. I have never had that happen to me. And,
Thank you.
My name is Chris Vidic, and I'm a library patron and also an employee with Alameda County Library System. I work as a clerk in the Centerville and the Irvington branches. I do have a couple of questions. Since the library is funded by public taxation, why wasn't public input solicited prior to the deletion and destruction of library materials and the implementation of drastic changes within the system? Why wasn't the public involved in this process? My other question is that I would like more information concerning the distribution of deleted library materials to charitable organizations such as preschools, senior centers, and third world countries, to name a few. As far as I know, they are currently going into the dumpster or recycle bins. This is such a terrible waste.
Thank you.
My name is Julie Winkelstein. I worked at this library. I worked for Albany County Library for 20 years, and I worked for this branch for 10 years. I wanted to preface my remarks. I have written out remarks, but I just want to say that if 97,000 is what the Albany Library started with, and the shelves are approximately 1/3 empty with some empty shelves, then you could say that maybe about 1/3 of the collection, especially because when I worked here, there were books stacked everywhere. So if you've got it so there's not books stacked everywhere, there aren't carts full of books, and we're down to, with big gaps, I'd say right off the top of your head, you could say that it's going to be more than 11,000 books. Just your common sense tells you that. And also, I don't know what you're looking at in terms of what they own, but Albany may have owned 97,000 and now owns 86,000. But it was what actually was here, because as it's been pointed out, what's been discarded didn't just belong to Albany. So I'm not quite sure how you got that number. So my remarks are, what does a successful public library look like? For me, success is a library enthusiastically supported by the community, a library with high circulation statistics, a library where lots of people come to the library to use it, and a library where community members find on the shelves what they're looking for, or they discover something entirely new, because it not only has breadth, but it also has depth. A library where the staff feels supported and respected, and a library that responds to the expressed needs of the community. In fact, a library where community needs are the #1 priority, and these needs are known because staff and management are interacting with community members every day and paying attention to what is being said. For me, this is success, and this is what existed at this library until last year. Now we have a collection that is greatly reduced in size. We have a hostile work environment where the professionalism of the staff is undermined by decisions that don't come from them or come from the community, but come from a vision that is not related to express community needs. What we have now is a diagnosis without symptoms, and the treatment is the removal of more than 20,000 books in a short period of time against the better judgment of the library staff. It is as if a doctor had just learned how to remove a spleen, and so she operates on all her patients regardless of what the actual health needs are. Or, as the saying goes, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. The Albany Library wasn't perfect, but every step, every decision was made professionally, and the needs of the community played a critical role. When a new manager steps into a job, it can be challenging for her or him to find their place. But the first rule for new management is wait. Wait and see what's working, wait and get to know your staff, wait and start with small changes that are decided together. Unilaterally making decisions that affect the staff and the library users without waiting, without gathering information about the community, without collaborating with staff to create a shared vision, can only harm a library. This library belongs to the people like me and the people in this room who live in Albany. We know what success looks like, and right now many of us don't think this is what we're seeing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Hegedus. I've lived in Albany for 31 years. I've used the library for 31 years. I also work as a librarian for the city of Oakland. I will say that there's been a lot of changes in Albany in the past year. Many of them, as we have been hearing, are not exactly pleased the population that lives here. One of the things that I find most distressing with this process that has been going on has been lack of input from the community with what has been the result of the weeding, which I do think has been pretty extreme. I know that a lot of the materials in Albany were pretty shabby, but there was a lot of depth there. And one of the things that I feel that we have really lost with doing this is the wonderful serendipity that you get going to the library, not really knowing exactly what you're looking for, but finding something on the shelf that sparks your interest and takes you off on that wonderful path of discovery. By only having new books, only having books that you have to request, how can you request what you don't know quite exactly what you're looking for yet? And I think that's really for me, that's been the most difficult thing, because as I imagine the majority of the people here, wildly curious people, always wanting to know what there is in the world and what there is out there, and hoping that you can find something that will spark your interest at the library. I would really like the board to reconsider how the guidelines for weeding are implemented here at the library, and hopefully come to a place where you can take away the books where the pages do stick together, because we certainly don't want those any longer, but also retain the books that maybe aren't quite brand new and shiny, but still have a lot of value left. Thank you.
Thank you.